Let's do it.
So tell me about this McGreevy thing. Just be careful.
Oh no,
Dude, just be careful. Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, because I'm in an apartment. Actually, there's nobody here. Whatever, it's fine. You can talk about it.
Oh, does it feel weird? By the way, do you have like furniture and stuff to sleep on?
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Was it already furnished, or you had to bring stuff?
No, it's already furnished. It's my friend's apartment. I'm like sharing it with him.
I gotcha. No, so basically, you were talking about like, the place where you're living, and you were saying how some of these D-bag, politicians, apparently they're starting to pick up on what's happening.
Yeah.
But they're still like stuck.
Yeah.
Like they just can't get unstuck.
Yeah.
From their political affiliations.
Yeah.
Even when they do see it, right? So one of those guys is McGreevy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, who apparently is, according to you, doing some good work somewhere. I don't want to get into that. It reminded me of what Patrice O'Neill said about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch the clip that I sent you?
I didn't finish watching because there was an interruption when I tried to watch it. So just tell me the.
It's a 4-minute clip. No, but basically he was just saying, well. By the way, do you notice I didn't send you the link to the video? I sent you just like a recording of it, right?
Yeah.
You know why I'm doing that, right?
Yeah. Why?
Because I don't want you to get sucked into one of those like
YouTube, into the vortex of Patrice O'Neill.
Into the vortex, right? So I'm not, I'm gonna do that. I did the same thing with Norm Macdonald.
That's funny.
I don't even want you to know how to find the clip.
I mean, I've heard him say that in some other clip that I saw of him, but then I couldn't find the clip, so whatever. It's fine.
So in this stand-up, he's at some comedy club in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he's kind of drunk. He seems a little tipsy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm so fed up with this place.
Yeah.
He goes, LA people. He goes, and I thought I'd come down here, surround myself with Jews, and see what happens.
He said an army of Jews or something. It's really funny.
He's like, I got an army of Jews. No bullshit. He's like, right, and then like everybody's laughing, and then you don't see it, but he's like he addresses some lady in the audience. He's like, come on, lady, have fun once in your life. What do you try? You try to save somebody. White girls always try to save something. What are you trying to save? Have some fun. And man, that was so funny. And then he starts like making fun of California people. He goes, everybody in the country don't like you no more. Everybody, because you guys elected this, the governor, Schwarzenegger, right? This guy campaigned on his catchphrases from movies, right? And he got in. You guys elected him. He goes, the taxes, right? And you guys voted for him. You're a laughingstock in the whole country. He goes, I'm no better. He goes, my governor is a sissy. He's a fat.
Dude, he said this whole thing. I can't do this. Dude, I can't. You're muffled. You sound muffled. Hello?
I can hear you pretty well.
There we go. Okay, yeah, you were just muffled for a second there.
I don't think it has something to do with my connection because I'm.
Oh, okay.
I see, like the phone, like the service is actually 5G. It just started up like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that.
I feel like it's changing my brain. I feel like it's changing my my neuronal connection.
Yeah. They're messing with us. Dude, if your phone just sounds like it's cutting in and out, are you on you're on Bluetooth? Is that why?
I'm on the car Bluetooth.
Oh, okay, because it's cutting in and out.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying anything like 2 seconds ago.
Oh, okay, no, before that I'm saying. Before, it was cutting in and out. Like, it was just sounded like you were like 30 feet away and then normal. 30 feet away and then normal. Now it's okay. So,
I'm still not talking. Just, I don't want you to get...
I'm purposely not talking to you. So tell me about this whole...
Just, I don't want you to think
So tell me about this Whole Foods thing.
The Whole Foods thing. No, basically I've lived in so many places,
Mm-hmm.
and I have so much experience looking for places to live,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's always a little bit harder for me, as a black man. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, as I'm a religious Jew, right? So I have to have I have to have access to either, to like an Orthodox synagogue that's like within, at least driving distance, right? And a place to shop.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier for me because I'm a vegan, but it's like once in a while you need to go to a place that has at least kosher products. Like you can buy wine or grape juice that's kosher.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Or vinegar that's kosher. That kind of stuff is not guaranteed to be kosher everywhere.
Yeah. True.
Things like that.
True.
So either you drive to a kosher supermarket, or you go to like Publix or Whole Foods or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that the place, and also security is important because my wife is hard of hearing. So there's a lot of things that go into this. I have to end up living in expensive neighborhoods that I can't afford to live in. Okay. So I
That's what most Jews situation, I feel like. Just
oh
living...
man, no, I can't afford to live in a religious Jewish neighborhood. That's just like the quality of life is so low and the price is so high. It's madness.
It's I don't know like how people even choose this. Sometimes I wonder like how do you. A friend of mine asked me how do people choose to live in New York, for example. You know what I mean?
When you say choose, were you talking about like living or becoming Jewish or living with the Jewish community?
No, how do people New York Jew like frum Jews that choose to stay in New York? How is that even?
Well,
I understand everything's here; it's convenient and this, but other than that, it's like it's just my friend who grew up in like partially in California, partially in like Hawaii. He doesn't understand why he doesn't understand the appeal of New York. I actually also don't, even though I grew up in this area. I don't understand the appeal.
I can kind of. I heard a lecture recently by Rabbi Heschel Greenberg, right?
Okay.
The point of the lecture, the subject matter of the lecture was, why is it difficult for Jewish people to believe that the Mashiach is going to come? What is it like? Yeah. What are they? Not that it's difficult to believe, but there's anxiety associated with it, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're scared of change, right?
Yeah.
Even if they live in a place that is not good. Yeah. That is dangerous.
Yeah.
But there's a certain thing about the human psyche and just being familiar with your environment.
Yeah.
Okay, because somewhere in the human mind, it's always like, well, how do I know it's not going to be worse?
Yeah. Exactly.
I already have I have my pattern here. Like I know where to go to get food. I know where to go.
Yeah.
Like I know who my neighbor is. I know where to go to shul. Like I don't want to relearn all that again, even if it's potentially better, or maybe it won't be better. How do I know?
Yeah. I don't know. I never.
So
what is it about?
People are worried about these irrational things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where people, we talked about this. Like,
dude, you're cutting out. You're cutting out back and forth like crazy.
All right. Let me disconnect from. Hang on a second.
Yeah, if you can. Sounds like somebody's zapping us.
On just the phone speakerphone right now.
Now it's way better. Infinitely better.
Okay.
All right, so you were saying...
Okay, so I was just saying that you were telling me a story about one of your dumbass friends who's like, oh, I hope Mashiach doesn't come before my business deal goes through.
Yeah, before I accomplish this whatever thing with some company or whatever it is. Yeah.
And that's those. Okay, so instead of ragging on all these people, I'll just tell you what the point of it is. The point is that people don't know about Mashiach. They don't understand. They don't know any details about what's going to happen. So their mind is vulnerable to all sorts of dumb notions and attacks from the Yetzer Hara, scaring them about nonsense that they don't have to be scared about.
Yeah.
And with that, I have to go get the bags for my wife, and I'll continue at the house.
All right, sir.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you were saying about something.
I was saying something, that's for sure.
We're going to see now.
Was it brilliant? Unlikely.
You were talking about. Oh yeah, you were talking about the people who want to finish all their stuff before Mashiach comes, and you're saying how people. Yeah, and you were explaining that, and you're saying how you can't blame people because people like familiar things, and
No, it's understandable that people they want to be comfortable. They want to just they want to be familiar with what they're already familiar with. They don't want to learn new things because it's always a gamble. Is it going to be better?
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not clear.
yeah,
And information about Mashiach is it seems like it's so vague,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That they don't know what they're hearing
yeah,
when it's being spoken about, right? They
Yeah.
don't know, like, what is this Mashiach? Like, what if,
Yeah.
The point is they don't know. So when you
Yeah.
don't know, the Yetzer Hara can play tricks on you. It can fill your head with all sorts of interesting thoughts.
yeah,
And that's really what it comes down to. Like, people are, this one guy said, okay, so Mashiach comes and what? We go to Israel. What? I live in one of those little government, project apartments in Tel Aviv or something like that.
yeah.
Like, why would I? How's that better than what's going on now? That's how these people think.
Why would they even get that idea? Like, even as a kid, can I tell you something, dude? Even as a kid, when somebody first told me about Mashiach, went back way before my father had it explained to him by some Chabad Rav in Brooklyn. And my father, the first time I ever heard about Mashiach, I was like 11 years old or 12 years old. And that is not the first thought that I would have. Like, that I'm going to live in, like, crappier conditions or something, or I don't know. The first thought I had was like peace on earth and great and no more lies, and that was the first thing the first thought I had.
You know what it might be? I know this is again speculation.
Yeah.
I like when we learn about concepts like things, about supernatural things occurring or prophecies taking place, right?
Yeah.
So you expect something like big, something like you're thinking fireworks. You're thinking like, like 100-foot angels just landing, or some really supernatural sci-fi stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to hear rabbis say, "Oh, this thing, that occurred politically that nobody cares about, that only like 5 people watched on the news. That's the fulfillment of this prophecy, right?"
Yeah.
So after hearing that several times.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, so the Mashiach is going to be something like that too, right? Okay.
Or you just
not very exciting.
Or you just get tired of it. You get tired of the whole like, okay, no, and like no.
Right, like what is this like? It doesn't feel like you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Like if that's really what that's Mashiach, I thought that.
Yeah.
At least like I would feel like something's happening.
It's like it's like Gaon Vilna talking about the Bosphorus Straits when the ships pass. Past the Bosphorus Strait, we saw the whole thing with Russia and Turkey. Okay. And?
Right. It's like okay, so if it happened, the Vilna Gaon could, he could sense it with his, I was going to say with his Jedi skills.
Spidey senses, yeah. You don't want to turn Vilna Gaon into Spidey.
No, that's even worse, dude.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, you have people who are, like, hooked into it, connected, right? Okay, so good for them. Okay, they can feel it. They okay, good. They're excited. Why should I be?
Yeah.
Okay, that's I think probably where a lot of people are coming from.
Yeah.
They can't say it. They're not going to say it out loud. So I'm saying it for them.
Yeah.
They don't have the balls to say it.
Yeah.
They'll still go to shul. They will be part of the community. They'll nod their head to the rabbi. Yeah. But inside, they're bitter. And they don't know what's going on, and they don't understand, why they should be excited about it. Okay, and that's because of ignorance. So obviously, it makes sense that the Rebbe would say that the most important thing that people could do is learn all about Mashiach. Okay, but I'm going to just rewind for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Rambam who says that the first part of Mashiach, right? That the laws of nature are not going to change. Like the world will continue as it is.
Yeah.
People are still gonna die and all that kind of stuff, right? So people are thinking like, what? So what is this? What is so wonderful about this?
Yeah.
They don't know what's so wonderful about it.
Yeah.
And it's a fair question.
Yeah.
The questions are not allowed to be asked anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the people who are supposedly our leaders are ill-equipped to answer them.
Yeah.
Because they don't know themselves.
Yeah, of course.
They're ignorant.
Dude, you know what? You know what pissed me off a lot, like from Jews when you come to them and you're like, usually it's like somebody not Lubavitch and you talk about Mashiach, they're like, oh, you must be Lubavitch or something, or like, what is it? What am I, Lubavitch? It's almost as if Lubavitch has cornered the market supposedly on this topic, and they.
Is it possible that they're trying to do shtick and it just comes out obnoxious?
Yes, also that.
I think that's mostly what it is.
They are trying to do shtick, but they're also in the process of the shtick. They are actually deflecting the conversation. They're actually avoiding having that conversation, either because, like you said, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about, what's flying, or like they don't even know what to, they don't know about, they're not well versed in the topic, let's say, or if they are, it's like a thing where it's like, again, it goes back to the whole thing of Shabtai Tzvi. People just don't want to get too excited because the letdown is too difficult.
Yeah.
It's like me. It's like, dude, just to get a little personal, like, whatever. I had a broken engagement 8 years ago, right? So like subconsciously, what did I start doing? I started blocking myself off from meeting the right person. Why? Because if I meet the right person, and then like, it's like Sam Kinison, love, it's love. Hey, it's love. And then next thing you know, so it's like I'm afraid that whole thing is just gonna go sour. It's gonna be so amazing. And I may even get engaged again, and then the whole thing just goes sour. So like, why? Let me just save myself from the this horror show again. And it's just like the Jewish people. They're afraid of meeting the husband, as it were. The wife is afraid of meeting the husband.
No, they're afraid he's not going to show up.
They're afraid he's not going to show up, but they're afraid it's going to be built up. And
they're afraid he's not going to show up. That's what they're scared of.
Yeah. That's basically it. Or if he shows up, something, whatever, it's going to be like, we think he showed up, but he didn't show up. Or it's a whole thing, Just like we thought last time, Somebody convinced us, whatever.
And what does it mean that he showed up?
Yeah, exactly. Do I, like this guy said, do I have to move into a crappy apartment and smell Aviv,
Yeah. So it's like there's so little information about, or for people who don't study, don't study the subject.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's very dark. It's very murky. Yeah. Everybody has cataracts.
Yeah.
Everybody has Mashiach cataracts.
Interesting. That's funny.
I don't know if anybody listening can relate to having cataracts.
Yeah.
But I had cataracts.
Like basically crappy vision, right?
It's like it's like gunk on in your field of vision. It's like you can barely see.
Yeah.
Okay, and the less you see, the less you want to be engaged in life.
Yeah. Because
everything is such a struggle. Everything is like driving is hard, reading is hard. Yeah. Everything is hard. You just kind of retract into yourself, and I think cataracts causes leads a lot of people to dementia.
Whoa. Yeah.
Because when you can't see, you can't read, you can't look at your phone, you can't.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so people have Mashiach dementia, the Mashiach cataracts.
That's crazy.
Which lead to Mashiach dementia.
I've never heard this category. By the way, this is episode 50, so I guess
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's very fitting.
The Yovel, the Jubilee.
Well, isn't the Jubilee 49 or Jubilee is actually 50? It's every 50 years.
No, the Jubilee is 50, my friend.
Interesting.
49 is actually very interesting. It's a shame I didn't see this. Rabbi Wolf's last lecture that you'll see on YouTube. He was talking about the number 49 representing the world, but without Hashem.
Wow, that's crazy.
49 is the number of nature,
And it's like lack of completion, no completion.
It's a lack of completion. Like he was saying that a Jewish like according to Jewish law in the land of Israel, a Jewish person could be a slave for up to 49 years.
Yeah.
Okay, until the Jubilee.
Yeah.
Now, this is a person who has sold himself into slavery because he couldn't afford to live or to pay off his, whatever.
Yeah.
His debts and stuff.
What's interesting is how is it? It's interesting how we know what the Shemitah years are, but we don't for some reason we don't know what the Jubilee years are. How is that even possible?
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I also don't understand that. Like if we can trace back all the way to in the Seder Olam all the way back to whenever, and we know we right now is a Shemitah year. We know that from going back whenever. Why is it? Why can't we just? What's the difference in calculating Jubilee? It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's a problem.
Yeah.
So 50. I'm looking at the first time we have a word called 50. Believe it or not, it's kol. In Bereshit, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 21.
Oh wow.
Vayivra Elokim et hataninim hagdolim ve'et kol nefesh hachaya.
So it's a
haromes. Yeah.
Kol nefesh is a all or no is a
all. Yeah, kol all.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first three occurrences of 50 in the Torah is kol, kol, kol. Then it's ha'adam.
Interesting.
Okay. Then it's kol again. Kol, 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 kol. Then ha'adam. And then ha'adam, ha'adam, kol, 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 ha'adam.
Interesting.
I just want to see what the vayavo el. Okay. And then pretty consistent. And then the word me, as in who.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And lecha, to you. Hang on. I just want to see Adama, the earth. That makes sense.
Adama. Oh,
right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see what else. Vayeled. And the child.
Huh.
Okay. Yeldo, his child.
Yeah.
Hema. Okay. So, no, it's pretty. Yeah, it's just sticking to all those words. I keep all through. I'm halfway through Bereshit already. It's just kol. Interesting. Yeah, I'm in Bereshit chapter 8, and that's all basically Hadam, Kol.
I'm trying to think what else we wanted to speak about when you said to remember.
Well, I know this wasn't it, but we should definitely we should continue on letter Aleph.
Yes. We could.
Because we're supposed to also be sharing Torah, whatever we're able to.
Well, even though we're only.
The fact that we're.
What you're saying?
I couldn't hear what you said.
I said we're only 25 minutes in, so we can't share Torah yet. I mean, we can share Torah if we want, obviously, but.
No. I'm just saying at some point, we can't forget like last time,
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, we forgot.
Greg, this is not readable.
Greg.
This is not readable.
It's not readable, Greg. So basically, yeah. No, so Nun, right? That's the Nun Sharibina, the 50th gate of understanding. Okay, that represents Mashiach.
Yes.
Okay, because Moshe Rabbeinu reached the 49th gate of understanding. That represents the furthest a human being has ever gotten in understanding whatever God wants us to know about him. Okay? But the 50th gate of understanding, the Nun Sharabina, is going to be, it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
But I just want to go back to this whole what to expect when Mashiach comes.
Yeah,
right?
please.
So, what we're all looking for. Here's what we mean when we're talking about Mashiach. Yeah. We're talking about the end of mind-numbing, time-wasting manual labor.
Yeah.
The end of sickness.
Yeah.
The end of hunger. The end of conflict. The end of death itself, and the return of our loved ones to us.
Yeah.
That's what because that's what to me. All those things are, I didn't make those things up, right? That's what I was taught. That's what we are taught.
Yeah. To
expect when Mashiach comes.
Yeah. Within
that process. And we discussed last time, I'm just going to read it again, quickly, because I have it right here.
Yeah.
So it says that according to the Talmud, the volume of Talmud is called Sanhedrin,
mm-hmm.
and the page is 97 on the A side. Okay,
mm-hmm.
So there it says, okay, Sanhedrin 97A, that history will last only 6,000 years from the time of creation. Okay,
yeah.
Which Adam's birthday. Okay, at present time, so the year is 57. Well, here it says 5761, but now we're in 5782, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so which leaves 209 years, 208 years until this year 6000.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, until the transformation of creation to a higher spiritual reality,
mm-hmm.
which we call Olam Haba, the world to come. It's also called Shabbat.
Yeah.
However, according to the Holy Zohar,
mm-hmm.
okay, in Midrash Ne Elam, which is common, it's a commentary on Parshat Toldot in Genesis, in Bereshit.
Yeah.
Okay, on page 148. Okay,
mm-hmm.
So it says there, the resurrection of the dead will begin 210 years before the year 6000. It doesn't say it here, but there's another opinion that says it's going to be in the same place. Different rabbi, 214 years.
It's a leshem, no?
No, it's not. No, the leshem he might be quoting it.
Oh, okay.
But this is just a discussion between
Gotcha.
two Tanaim in the Zohar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says that the resurrection. This is we're not even talking about the coming of Mashiach. We're talking about the resurrection of the dead.
Yeah.
Something that occurs well into Mashiach's arrival.
So they're saying that basically it could happen like even as early as 5786, which is like.
No. It's saying that it must begin.
Yeah.
In 57, before 57, or at latest 57, 86.
86 or 90.
86 or 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the two opinions. So they're just 4 years apart from each other. The two opinions. They're essentially,
Can I tell you something? Based on what I've been listening to with this guy Cliff High and his predictive algorithm and analytics, he's been talking about that people are going to be the next 2, 3, 4 years we're going to see what. And so I was thinking about, and then I posted this actually on TikTok, and you see all these like Americans, very these regular Christian good people, Americans commenting, God please help us, Hashem please help us, oh man, this and that, my uncle, my father, my whatever, this and that. And I said, and I'm thinking to myself, it has to be that maybe these people will very quickly temporarily leave, A lot of them. Let's just think of the craziest scenario. I hate to do this exercise now, but I thought of the craziest scenario. I thought of whatever, some crazy number, and then I imagined immediately those people and the people that we have not, you and I have not seen in a long time, in our family, and then of course, what's her face? The no, Avos and Imos
Yeah.
and all these guys. That's the movie that I had playing in my head. I had a mass, just people having to go away for a short time, very short time. I don't know, not even months, not even weeks, and then it begins.
It's not. It doesn't have to be that way. It's
It
not a
it doesn't
necessity.
have it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. But if you if
By the way, just on a side note, I heard that the Avot, like Abraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov and the Imaot, are gonna wake up last.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Yeah, I was always wondering like who's first. So it's like, so for
So
example,
good question. I heard also an opinion about who's first. That would be Moshe Rabbeinu,
Moshe Rabbeinu is first, and then who? And then just like our relatives.
and then yeah, I mean, not. By the way, not everybody gets up at the same time.
I know.
Rabbi Keston was describing how the process of the resurrection of the dead is going to occur over a 200-year period, 210-year period.
Yeah.
Okay, so not everybody gets up at the same time.
So it's based on merits, based on schut.
I have no idea. Could be, some kind of maybe it's based on who can contribute at each stage. Right? Like at this stage, let's say 10 years into Mashiach, 10 years into the resurrection of the dead, there has to be some kind of work done in the world. Who's the best suited for that kind of work?
Yeah.
And those people, that's my speculation. I don't know.
You know who I want to see?
sense.
I want to see whatever. I want to see like Tesla. That'd be a cool guy to see. Dudes like him, Tesla, all those dudes like Galileo. All these guys, all these like look like Da Vinci. I want to see all these kind of like Renaissance guys. What is that noise?
That was something that fell on the floor.
Oh, that sounded like it sounded like Alien from Alien.
It's crazy, man. It's weird how sound gets into that. Like something I can barely hear
Yeah.
is like amplified.
Yeah.
It's kinda dumb.
Why is it that babies, like if I'm talking to somebody on the phone and they have a baby,
Yeah.
babies' voices are so, it like pierce your ears. Oh my God. Like when you're on the phone, with a person who has a baby.
Well, I think that's sometimes that's the baby's only
Yeah.
means of survival.
Oh my goodness.
It has nothing else except its voice
Yeah.
and its cuteness.
Yeah, but like when you're on the phone with somebody and there's a baby next to them, that
Yeah.
baby's the whatever it is, the frequency of the voice, it's obliterating your ears.
The baby is asserting itself. It's reminding everybody that listen, you're talking to my parent over here,
Yeah.
and and I don't want you to think, I don't want you to get the illusion
Yeah.
that you're more important than I am. So I'm going to
Yeah.
have to assert myself here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember Seinfeld? Seinfeld, he was saying how like this is one of his stand-ups right after he had a baby.
Yeah.
He goes, he's like, I had a little baby. He said it like that.
Yeah.
He goes, and it's wonderful and it's great, but sometimes I see the baby just kind of looking around,
Yeah.
and he's probably thinking to himself, I'm gonna have all your stuff, and you're not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. Some kind of Seinfeldian thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
I remember,
Yeah.
what was that show that he has, like where he driving around with comics?
Who? Oh yeah, comedians in cars getting coffee.
Comedians in cars getting
Yes,
coffee. Okay,
yes.
so one of the episodes, he picked up Don Rickles from his house.
Yeah.
And Don
Yes.
Rickles, as they were leaving, like mamish at his front door. So Don Rickles, he touched the mezuzah and he kissed his hand, right? He like kissed the mezuzah, and he looks at Seinfeld. He goes, "Oh, you don't do that." He goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot. You're one of them voodoo Jews."
Voodoo Jews.
I don't know what that means. It makes no sense, but it's hilarious.
You and I are voodoo Jews, apparently.
We are?
No, voodoo, yeah, like, people who believe stuff. I don't know.
No. Rickles said that to Seinfeld.
Yeah, but like, what does that mean in the context of Seinfeld?
No, because Seinfeld, he claims to be an atheist.
Ah. Okay, so how does it make him a voodoo Jew? Oh, because he's.
I don't. I don't know.
If you're an atheist, you're into voodoo. You're not into Judaism. You're into voodoo. Like what?
Right. I don't know what he meant by that. It was just hilarious. It sounded hilarious.
Yeah.
But so again, Don Rickles, he kissed the mezuzah, and then he asked Seinfeld. He goes, "You don't do that?"
Yeah.
And then Seinfeld's like, "No, I'm not. I don't believe in that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. You're one of them voodoo Jews." I didn't get it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Seinfeld is really into transcendental meditation.
Yeah. No, listen. There's something about it that Jews particularly are attracted to, and there is a connection, like a Kabbalistic element there, going on. It's not a surprise.
It's very funny. It's a very funny name. It's quite a misnomer.
Yeah, it is a misnomer.
If you're an atheist, how are you practicing transcendental anything?
I think they're not atheists. They are not atheists.
Agnostic?
No, they're not agnostic. They're against organized religious systems, or organized religious, dogmatic, like practice. They're not. They actually. I don't think they're. An atheist is a person who doesn't believe in God. I think these people believe in God. They believe in another realm.
I have to double check. But Seinfeld said he doesn't believe in God.
He said that? I don't think that's true. I don't think, dude. There's no such thing as a Jewish atheist. There's people who are just have an aversion to, I don't know, black hats or something, or they think that the Torah is not consistent or whatever it is. But it doesn't mean
fear of the black hat.
Yes. I literally never met. It's like what's his name, Rabbi Steinsaltz, when he was talking to Kurzweil, it's like, oh, I never said, He's like, oh, another atheist gone. Because Steinsaltz knows there's no such thing as a Jew within the Shama who doesn't intuit that there's no, like, who that doesn't intuit a God.
You know what it is?
Who does not intuit a God. You know what I mean?
Here's what it is. Here, I found a way to express it.
Yeah.
So you're right. There are no Jews who don't believe in God, regardless of what they say.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's what they do. You know how if a Jew, the old joke, if a Jew ends up on a deserted island, right? So what does he do? He builds a shelter. He builds camp. He finds a way to survive, and then he ends up building two synagogues.
And that's the one I used to go to, and the one what's it called? Yeah.
Right, and the one I've never stepped foot into.
The breakaway minion. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I'll never step. Right. Okay. So the point is that I think some of these supposedly sophisticated people, right?
Yeah.
They want to feel that their understanding of the universe or of some kind of energy, some kind of transcendent consciousness is more sophisticated than whatever they think black hat people worship.
Or the sophisticated than what the childlike stories that they heard from, Manishtana with their parents on Reform Temple or something.
Do you know Avi Yamini?
Yes, the Australian guy, Australian.
Australian. He's a Yemenite. Taimani.
Yeah.
Comes from a religious family. When he started out with his activism, he was still wearing a kippah.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna indulge those fairy tales anymore. That kind of stuff."
Yeah.
I grew up that way. So now you have a guy who grew up religious, who thinks he knows something.
Yeah.
But he's uneducated.
Yeah.
He's ignorant.
Yep.
But he thinks he's not ignorant. That's the main problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, there's different stories. There's people who were forced to do stuff. And listen, I want to do it. Can I tell you, when I lived in Crown Heights for 3 years, I saw it all. I mamash saw it all. I saw people who were the sons of big Rebbeim, who were like people who, Rebbeim who are like, there's this one rabbi who gives like smicha and 770 to guys, and his son's off the derech. How is that possible? The rabbi himself grew up Litvak, became Lubavitch, the kid grew up whatever, Australia, this, that, and then you have other kids who come, but then they still, Lubavitch is the only group where you see the kids still live in Crown Heights. They leave, like, it's not like Satmar where you leave and you just leave. You leave physically there, the neighborhood.
Yeah, you gotta bounce.
You gotta bounce.
You're not wearing the uniform.
Go across the country. But these guys, they stay with their parents and this, and they make, these guys make kiddush. He came over our house and made kiddush, and he was doing, the oneg and stuff. So, and then I saw people who were like clinging to the derech, and I saw people who were doing stuff because of appearances, like we said. I saw people who are, went back and then came back again. I saw people who were this. I saw people who were like, somebody forced them to learn, hitas in school. Why do I have to do this? I don't know. One kid told me, this kid, there's a place in Crown Heights where this rabbi, he does inreach, for the off the derech, like 20-year-old kids, who grew up Lubavitch. Some of them grew up actually even also Litvak. So I remember sitting with this kid talking to him, and he goes to me, all I was told in yeshiva, his Lubavitch yeshiva, just accept the yoke of heaven. I'm like, dude, did you go to Catholic school or something? But then I realized, like, it's devolved into that in these schools. It's devolved into.
It's not devolved into that. That's all that was necessary
at the time
for most of history.
Correct, but now that obviously, don't these people understand? Lubavitch, you would think of all people would understand. Since they're the masters of kiruv on people like me, you and I.
Yeah, but they're not. They might be the masters of. Well, they call it niftzayim. They don't call it kiruv, but meaning outreach.
Outreach, but also not just miftoim. Miftoim is just a basic kind of bringing this, bringing that. But like I'm talking about, they have a whole JLI program where they teach people, adult Torah. Wouldn't they think
the Jewish Learning Institute?
Yeah,
it's because it's just like they say about the contractor's wife.
Yeah,
she's upset because the contractor never finishes his own house.
Yeah, the shoemaker has no shoes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm talking to this kid, and I'm just like, dude, like, there's a whole. Have you read your own stuff?
No, they haven't.
It's crazy.
They have an aversion to it because, in some ways, and I have personal experience with this from, I'm not going to say how, okay, but from people who grew up religious, and it's hardest to reach them. Hardest, not the easiest.
I know because they know. I know they also know a lot, but what they know is very.
They don't know nothing. They think they know.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have what's called written a memorization of written information. But they don't even understand what that information means.
Knowledge.
Yeah, that's not knowledge. They don't understand what it means. It's just retention. That's what it is. They have a lot of retention, but they don't understand what it is that they have retained conceptually. They don't understand what that is as a concept, and they're just blurting out. I remember debating with this one guy, and he just blurts out stuff. It's like Joker. I just say things. What do those things mean? Not a clue. It's difficult, but it's difficult. But he knows more, meaning like he has retained more than I have because by virtue of the fact that he's been learning his whole life. He's been reading it his whole life.
He remembers statements. He remembers sentences.
Yeah.
He remembers, but there's no way that a person can know what they mean.
Yeah.
And then go off the derech. You can be lazy, right?
Yeah.
You can be a bum, but you know where it's at. Meaning you're not going to move away from. You're not going to convince yourself that this isn't real.
Yeah.
If you actually see the stuff,
exactly.
Which by the way is what I'm hoping to be able to do with some of these. With some of these talks that we do.
Yeah, of course.
That some of this information that we're talking about that we wish that these kids would know about.
Yeah.
Like we can figure out how to deliver this right.
Was it you that told me about it? Like or somebody else told me. I think it was you, maybe. That you spoke. You told me this. That you spoke to some of these kids, and you're like giving them info about this, that, and the other. Froom kids, and they never heard it before.
Yeah. They never heard it before.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
Yeah.
When you show it to them,
Yeah.
Okay, folks at home, we're talking about the gematria
Yeah.
and the coded information in
Yeah.
the text of Tanakh.
Yeah.
The Torah, the prophets, and the writings, like the Psalms of David and Proverbs. Yeah. Okay, Tanakh. Or as they say in Lubbock, Texas, Tanakh.
Tanich. Tanakh, yeah.
Tanakh.
You know what I love? You know, what's his name? Rabbi Tuvia Singer has a show called Tanakh Talk. Oh no, there's a show that he appears on of an
Tanakh. Because William
a Noahide guy. He spells it T.
He's a Jewish guy.
Oh, he is a Jewish guy. So he spells it Tenak. Tanakh.
He's a convert.
Oh, he's a convert.
His
Okay,
whole
fine.
family.
Oh wow, in Texas, right? He's probably one of those people like called like Rabbi Mizrahi.
He was the son of a famous evangelist.
Wow. Yeah, so that's the show. It's called Tanakh Talk. I'm like, what is Tanakh?
Right, no, but it's self-aware.
Yeah.
He understands.
Yeah.
You know, like he gets it.
Yeah.
So, and that's a pretty awesome guy actually.
Yeah.
But basically, right. So when you're trying to explain this kind of stuff to Jewish kids, right, and they've seen some of it. Here's the problem: they don't know that that's special. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they don't understand that not all books are like that because they didn't grow up well read. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, they're not as people would like to say, like from our background, right, from the secular background, they're not well rounded in there. They didn't read Chekhov. They didn't read Dostoevsky. They haven't read Henry Miller. They haven't read Samuel Beckett, and and Joyce. You know, they haven't read that, so they don't. So they think. I think that the Fromm kids think that if you were going to open up, of mice and men, you're going to find gematrias. That's what I think they think.
That's a friend of mine told me that. A friend of mine told me, he's like, yeah, you could find codes in anything, and you could open up a monkey. They did a test with a monkey and Shakespeare, and they found a code of. I'm like, dude, what in God's name are you talking about?
Can I tell you something right now?
You know, like punch people in the face for being stupid.
I want to describe to you who that person is. I'm not talking about their name.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about their family. I'm not talking about even them. I'm just talking about a type of person.
Yeah.
And this is really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Okay? If you have like a semi-serious, curious person like that freak Yuval, right? Yuval, whatever the hell his name is.
Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah, that guy, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm not talking about guys like that.
Yeah.
Okay, like he probably, relatively speaking, did some serious,
the riddle of
what he would call research.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guy who convinces himself without doing any research that there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't have to stop what he's doing.
For sure. So I think in this case,
But what is he doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing? He's eating McDonald's and he's whacking off the porn.
Yeah. Well,
He doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want to have to stop that.
Well, this particular guy his father is Jewish. His
I don't know. I don't want to know about this guy.
I don't want
to know about.
No, you
guy.
You should because it's pertinent.
No, I really shouldn't. It's probably Lashon Hara. I'm scared.
It's not at all. No. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name, and I haven't seen the guy in a very long time. I'm just saying the person.
Something.
Fine.
I think it's better not to.
Fine.
Seriously.
Fine. The kid, so the guy's not a Jew. The guy's not a Jew technically. That's all I wanted to say.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
it doesn't
fine.
matter.
Fine. I hear what you're saying.
According to me, half the world is. When I say Jewish, I mean like at least lost tribe people.
Yeah. According to,
maybe not half. But,
it's like Jackie Mason, the world according to Frank.
It's maybe no, it's not really according to me. It's according to it's not definitely not a widely accepted view, but it's the one that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
There's 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have rabbis making statements like, "Who are all these 8 billion people? Why now?"
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of
Right?
crazy. We have a. I mean, granted, you could say, well, it's because of that's not the why. That's the how. We had a what is it called? Industrial revolution. And if you look at the chart of world global population, that's when it exploded.
I know. I understand what the conventional, excuse to me. What I'm saying is that the actual reason, the spiritual reason for it, for the tikkun, because there's no time left. That's why you have to have everybody back at the same time.
Yeah. The souls, you mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. The souls.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, so why there's not a lot of different who needs a tikkun?
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
Who needs it? Like, I don't believe God wants to destroy the majority of the human race and just leave a couple of people hanging around. Okay, there's Christians love to hear that.
Yeah.
There's only going to be like a couple thousand left.
Yeah.
Muslims love that even more.
Yeah.
Okay, and you even hear that sometimes in Jewish circles.
Yeah, you'll hear it like if we have a choice. It's like Rabbi Mizrahi, 2/3 of the world might be destroyed if we don't do tshuva. Jesus, flip, man.
Laugh at I'm not laughing at the subject matter.
Did you ever listen to me? If you only knew, did you ever read Zachary 14 and Ezekiel 37? The eyes pop out of the heads. The flames. He's talking about, the nuclear war and this. He's like, what do you think it's talking about, Ma? What do you think it's talking about? What did you describe? You will not have money in your pockets. The government will be full of Erev Rav. You're going to have all the liberal lefties from Haaretz and this and this. He just goes on and on.
Everybody will have blue hair.
Everybody will be emotional incontinence. Emotional incontinent. You know what he says? Hypocrite. They are not hypocrite like me, like you, Ma. I am not a hypocrite.
They are racist. They are racist.
Do you know why do we have a Shidduch problem, Shidduch crisis? Racism. This one didn't make the rice that this one wanted. Persian versus Persian inside. Iraqi versus Iraqi. Moroccan versus this. Bukharian inside of this. Brother versus brother. Secular, religious.
Yeah, but you notice he never said he only stays. Even he stays only within the Sephardic.
No, but he says Ashkenazi and Sephardim also. He has a problem with when people don't marry. Because he lives in Muncie. He has a yeshiva for all kinds of guys. Ashkenazi also he gets
which is actually I give him credit for that because that's a rare thing among Sephardim.
Yeah. Well, you know why he does that? Because he goes because when I want to do that. He's like when in Israel the Sephardim came and the Ashkenazim, they still do it today. They do not let Sephardi, but still Sephardi took on the hats and the black hat and this, but they don't let in the yeshiva. They don't let in the yeshiva. So I want to make it let everybody in the yeshiva. Torah, he's like Torah's Torah. I'm just paraphrasing, but it's just funny. Like he's like Ashkenazi. He's like
it's crazy. I was watching a lecture by a sofer because I'm trying to here and there do a little research about Ktav Stam and Sofrut, right?
Yeah.
Scribal arts. Okay, so basically there was a guy who was giving a lecture at YU. He was a sofer, and he was talking about he went to YU. And he looks like a Hasidic guy, but he went to YU when they just started, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, they did not hire you if you were not from the same area of Lithuania that they were from.
That's crazy.
And or they would hire you, but you couldn't make any decisions.
So how was he hired? I was gonna say, how was he hired then? Because he was really good.
He wasn't hired. This was years ago when he was a student.
Yeah. No, it started with it's like Rabbi Schachter, all the it's a specific group of people. It was. But now it's not so much.
I mean, I mean, in some cases that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like if you're because with YU they had a certain vision.
Yeah, they did. Toro Mado.
What they wanted to do with that place, and if you're going to hire
Toro Mado,
you know, if you're going to hire some some Hasidic guy from some Polish dude, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to go along with your vision. He's not going to get it.
Yeah.
So maybe they had their reasons for that.
Listen, it was a very specific thing by Rav Soloveitchik. It was a specific, which came from.
As we read in that essay about the UFO stuff, remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember what he said?
What did he say? Oh, Rav Soloveitchik about the stuff. Yeah. No, he said a lot of. He said a lot of. He was like tapped in on that whole level.
He said, look, he goes, we may not be the only Israel in the universe. We might just be Israel in our section of the cosmos, right? And
yeah, for sure.
I was, my wife, I think she saw it. My jaw hit the table.
Dude, can I tell you something? Something controversial. You may get upset. You may not get upset. You may agree with me. If Rav Kook, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and Rav Soloveitchik, all three of them came back, and not so much Rabbi Nachman, all three of those people came back and saw what's going on with their groups today, they would plots again. And then
I don't consider that. I consider that.
Why would
that's
it
how
be?
I feel about it.
No, that's what I just maybe Lubavitch you would like. I don't know. You would disagree, but no, it's crazy. Like if Rav Soloveitchik saw what's going on in YU, or just the whole general that community, he would lose his mind. He would fall on the floor. He would make another Tisha B'Av, rend his garments and what is it called? Fast for a month, and sing Eicha and recite Eicha and all kinds of kinos, and same thing with Rav Kook. If he saw what's going on in Merkaz Rav, with the rabbi, I won't say the name, what he's telling people to do, go take. I don't know. It's just.
Dude, you want to hear something insane?
Mm-hmm.
This is a little bit. This is way off topic.
It's fine.
Because I just got a message. It just flashed in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Not a prophecy, folks, on my phone.
Okay.
Okay, so my nephew, he's a bacher in yeshiva. I'm not going to say where.
This is your brother's son.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he just texted me saying, I had a dream last night that you bought a book about numbers from Rabbi Aaron Leib Raskin in Brooklyn.
What?
And by dream, I mean his son is my roommate, and he told me.
That's hilarious. He's just like, so he's like messing with you. He's like, that's funny.
You know what? You know what's even funnier? I didn't realize that until I read it out loud.
So he's like trying to like get you to buy the book.
No, I bought it. That's the thing.
You did.
I don't know how. He must. I guess his son helps him with the shipping.
Your nephew has a very awesome sense of humor.
He does.
It's actually very funny. What is he, like 20 or something? This kid?
No, he's 18.
Dude, for 18, that's like a very Norm Macdonald-esque joke.
Yeah.
I can imagine Norm Macdonald delivering that. And by dream, I meant he actually went and bought it.
Right. Oh, you know what he just told me? He said I was one of the first to order it.
Wow, that's cool.
Rabbi Raskin, I think his best known book is Letters of Fire.
Uh-huh.
He wrote the Chabad book of about letters.
Yeah.
Which is about the Hebrew letters. Okay?
Yeah.
And he just got this new book. He just wrote this new book, and I just want to say the name of it for a second, just a moment.
Mm-hmm. It's very funny, man. This kid is going places.
I think so. Bezat Hashem. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it Kfar Chabad or something?
No. He's in the States right now, but
okay.
I don't want to say where.
I got you.
Yeah. So, 1 second.
I hope he's not one of the kids that's supposed to, whatever.
No.
Take whatever. Blah. Baruch Hashem.
Rabbi Raskin is the Chabad Shliach in Brooklyn Heights.
Is he related to the I mean, they're all related. The guy who was doing the fish. He passed away. Raskin.
Right. The fishmonger.
The fish guy. Well, he passed away. I met him right before I moved to Grand Heights, and then he passed away a couple of years later after that. His sons took over.
You know why I said fishmonger?
Why?
Because they say stuff like that in Japanese movies.
Not only that, but I went into his store and he looked like he was a fishmonger.
But it said the word monger sounds bad. It's
like a warmonger. You're like warmonger.
Yeah, because whenever you hear the word monger, it's only in the context of war.
Dude, the only thing I can think of, the first thing that pops in my head, first person that pops in my head when I hear warmonger, it's George W. Bush. That's all I heard. George W. Bush and what's his face, Rumsfeld, and Cheney.
Dude, all the neocons, all those guys.
Wolfowitz. Oh God, what a. Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop. I don't want to. What's it called? I don't want to Farrakhan anymore.
Dude, stop Farrakhaning. Stop going to the dark side and drink some Merlot. Okay.
Bill Crystal, not Billy Crystal, but Bill Crystal. You know that guy?
But also Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal too, but Bill Crystal, the neocon Fox News guy.
Yes. Okay, so hold on. I found the book. Sorry, we'll go back to this warmongering thing in a second. Okay, so the latest book that he wrote is called Parsha Mnemonics.
Interesting.
Decoding the number of verses in the Torah portion.
They should have a picture of Keanu Reeves as looking like from Aha, Take on Me, Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic. I actually like that movie.
I saw parts of it. I couldn't really.
That's the only movie that you will find. Dolph Lundgren dressed up like a Greek Orthodox priest.
He was in that movie.
In a robe.
Interesting.
Who hires himself out as a hitman. Okay, you'll never find a combination of ideas like that again.
It's so odd.
Okay.
God,
now
movies are dead. Movies are momish dead.
Yeah. Parsha. The only thing I really remember about that movie is how hot that actress was, and also that ninja dude who had that laser wire that he would just like cut people into pieces with it. God. It was like this like glowing. It was like this. It's kind of like lightsaber, like garroting string.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Parsha Mnemonics, decoding the number of verses in the Torah portion. Did you know every Parsha has a different amount of Pesukim? Every portion of the Torah has a different amount of verses.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't have chapters. We have sections, which are called Parshiot. Okay? Our sages have chosen a word known as a mnemonic with the same gematria to remember the number of psukim. Okay, so this groundbreaking book explores the connection between the mnemonic, the number of psukim, and the theme of the parsha.
Yeah,
just another way of coding information. Plus, every parsha has an amazing, inspirational story and a great joke. A book for every home and every personal library. Now, I'd like to say that Rabbi Raskin is one of the most Jewy Jews in this side of Judaism. Okay? That he could not be. He's like, if you took like Jerry Lewis, when he was still working with Dean Martin, okay, and put him together with. I don't even know who's, you know what I mean? Who's more.
Yeah.
It's Henny Youngman.
Oh my God.
You take Jerry Lewis, Henny Youngman.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's very, very Jewy. Very Jewy. Okay.
Interesting.
So I recommend watching his videos. It's just first of all, his lectures are interesting. They're very interesting. He'll give you a lot of information that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
And studying the letters, he's big on that, and I love that. That's how I actually found. That's how I started watching his lectures, because I was searching the internet for, people who are explaining the meaning of the Hebrew letters. So that's how I ran into him.
Yeah.
But he is, and it's so funny because they made him shliach in Brooklyn Heights. You'd think that they would send a different shliach to be the shliach of Brooklyn Heights. You'd send like a guy who's like more, you'd think like, he's sophisticated.
Well, there is in Prospect Heights. What's his name, Rabbi? There was a sophisticated whatever.
No. So I'm not saying that Rabbi Raskin isn't sophisticated, like knowledgeable and intelligent.
Yeah.
But he's very Yiddish Jewish.
Yeah.
Understand? More than usual. More than usual.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know.
Right.
Yeah.
But he is like an angelic being. If you just it's hard to.
What's his first name?
It's hard. Aaron.
Oh, Aaron Raskin. I think I met him. I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen videos of him. Yes. Where did I meet him? Maybe I met him somewhere, but I've for sure seen videos of him. Yeah. He was in Morristown. Interesting. Early life, Ben
I have a couple of impressions from Morristown, but I'm only going to say the good ones. Okay. So, I remember. You know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to stop myself.
Okay.
Folks, you're witnessing by not hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You're witnessing. You're witnessing.
Yeah.
Progress.
By the way, speaking of neocons, Raskin was a shliach of the Lubavitch Rebbe in Great Britain, representative of the Jewish leadership in the visit to the House of Lords. In doing so, he was following the footsteps of his grandfather, who had served on the ethics committees during the administrations of George H.W. Bush and your Governor Mario Cuomo.
Okay, I didn't follow that. Who's, where, what?
Rabbi Raskin's grandfather served...
Raskin who? Because you broke up again. See, you broke up again.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Rabbi Raskin's grandfather served on the ethics committees of President George Daddy Bush, 41, and Governor Mario Cuomo.
Mario was a little bit better than
his
demonic son.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
Like he was the governor, I guess, when we were just kids. That was the guy. He was long-serving governor, right?
Yeah. Named a bridge after him.
They did?
Recently.
Which
no,
bridge?
his son named the what was it? The Tappan Zee. Here.
What?
1 second, sir.
Okay, nobody cares. I mean, everybody's just going to continue calling it the Tappan Zee for so many reasons.
Yes, the Tappan Zee Bridge was renamed the officially named Mario Cuomo Bridge by his son. It's a Tappan Zee Bridge.
I don't accept that. Dude, the Tappan Zee Bridge, I went on it one time. Have you ever been on it?
I've been on it a few times, yeah.
It's majestic.
It is, yeah. It's very nice. They rebuilt it also. They really rebuilt it, mamish.
It's really low, right? It's
not super low, but yeah.
It feels like you spend so much time on the water.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in the open air somehow. I don't know. Somehow
it's interesting.
Beautiful bridge.
It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's more of a causeway even. I would say. Like the causeway that leads you to Key. Whatever was it Key West or whatever it's called?
Yeah. Right. No. So there's a lot of causeways in Miami. The primary one is the MacArthur.
Yeah.
You have the Lehman Causeway in Aventura. But but this is. It's very. I don't know what it is, but the one time I went out, I'm like, holy crap! It goes over the Hudson River, right?
There's a beach. There's a yes, it does. There's a bridge like that when I was going to Tampa. I was driving from Miami to Tampa. There is a bridge near in St. Petersburg. The Skyway, Sunshine Skyway Bridge. You been on the bridge?
No, I don't
Dude,
think
that's
so.
a crazy. It's like literally like you're going up in a roller coaster and then down.
I would have remembered.
I'll send you. I'll send you a picture of this
Where,
place. This
where,
thing.
where was this again? Where was it?
In St. Petersburg, Florida. The
Yeah, I
Sunshine
don't think
Skyway
so.
Bridge here. Here. You for sure. I mean, maybe you've driven to St. Petersburg or Tampa. Here, I'll send you a picture of it. I was going up the bridge and then down the bridge. It's so cool. I was like making a video. Amazing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know this place, right?
No, I've seen this. I've never been on it, but
It's
I've
like
seen it.
mamish like going like up a roller coaster and then down. But it's like
That's
a
so cool.
long roll. It's like very. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, just like so. You're right. It's like a causeway,
Yeah.
but it just has these like majestic towers.
Yeah.
And it feels really open air. I don't know. Pretty cool. Hudson River is like it's beautiful
Uh,
in some places. In some places.
Yeah.
In some places.
Makes me think of what's his name when Kramer was swimming in the East River,
The East River.
and they were like, "You're gonna go like grow a third eye or something."
I think I heard Don Rickles saying, he goes, yeah, this Robert Loggia came up to me one time. He's like, yeah, I used to swim in the East River. He goes, I gave him a cookie, he went away. Stuff. That's crazy.
It's called the
Anyway.
episode. The episode of the Seinfeld is called "The Nap." Here it says, it's when yeah, Kramer takes up swimming, finds a local pool too crowded. He begins swimming in the East River. On their first date, Hal tells him, "Okay, this is like all these side things." Some Kramer. I just want to say like what happened in Kramer. Yeah, here. Hal confronts Kramer to clear up his relationship with Elaine, and Kramer mentions that swimming in East River has done wonders for his back. Hal tries it out and tells his back doctor, who prescribes swimming in the East River to all his patients, including Elaine, who threw her back out trying to move the mattress. Oh, they like have something with a mattress. As a result, Kramer finds the East River as unacceptably crowded as the local pool. So everybody starts.
That wasn't the same episode where he was tanning with butter?
What
Remember
Kramer?
he was using butter as tanning?
It doesn't say.
Tanning lotion? No, I don't think that was probably
I don't think. Yeah. Hold on, tan. No, it's not. No, here it's just like whatever. It's hilarious. That show was just like I remember as a kid. I was like 12 years old. I came home once. My dad was watching the show, and I go, "What is this show about?" He's like, "Greg, it's nothing. It's about nothing." I'm like, "What do you mean nothing?" Because I was used to like plots, like Perfect Strangers. There's like a
Dude,
plot.
I figured it out. I know exactly how they made that show. Okay?
It's called
You know how,
Hapratis.
like the conversations that you have with your parents that you wonder, like, why is your mom driving you crazy? And,
Yeah.
like, what does it have to do with you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They just collected all of those
Yeah.
occurrences in
Yes.
their lives,
Yeah.
and then they emphasize them as the only thing that matters.
Yes.
And and there you have Seinfeld, the show.
Yes. And then when they made Curb Enthusiasm, then
It's
they
exactly the same story.
they took it to the extreme and made everything very awkward and uncomfortable. It's just like even more awkward than it needs to be, like faux pas and stuff.
Right. It's like Larry David. Like I guess Seinfeld is semi good looking, right? And
Yeah.
I'm told. Okay, I'm told.
Yeah.
I didn't. You know when I realized that he was good looking? When I saw some. I didn't know that the ladies like him. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but like.
Well, he's kind of nerdy, a little nerdy looking, a little bit, kind of.
Right, but I was like, I heard some radio show where like there was a group of women on, and then they're talking about how much they love Jerry Seinfeld. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the guy who was with him there, he goes, oh, I'm sure that you like how he's getting all like distinguished and salt and peppery, right? Salt and pepper, right? And the ladies were like, yeah, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why women are weird, man?
Yeah.
You know, this is like when I was a kid, I didn't understand. Like,
Yeah.
why would they like an aging man? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It still doesn't make any sense, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
question it.
But no,
Because I'm an aging man.
it's a daddy thing. It's a father figure. You know, like that, again, like that song. I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. No. Everything's age appropriate here. Whatever.
Yeah, kind of. Not really.
It's,
All right, so let's get back on track. What the hell? We were talking about something meaningful.
we were talking about like Mashiach and what people think and perceive and.
Oh yeah. We got to get back.
And
to
why
that.
people, I want to get back to this whole thing of like why Dafka. This wasn't the only person that said this. I've heard a lot of people say this phrase. I hope Mashiach doesn't come before I finish my. And this is like, some of these people are very intelligent people, and some of these people are even Mashiach oriented. You know, they keep davening for Mashiach. You know, we should build. You know,
I
it's
think
weird.
that,
it's really weird.
They don't understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think again, most of the people that I've encountered who said stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really about business or anything like that. It was more about they were scared that they weren't, you know, that they didn't have time to repent for their sins.
Oh no, this is not like that. This is like, I want to finish this before
Right. So I mean, I haven't personally. I've never, I haven't really had that experience with people saying that. Most of the people are just worried about their spiritual state, that they want to. They want to clean up their act. They want to have a spiritual six-pack before Mashiach arrives. Okay? They want to they want to be ripped. Right?
Mm-hmm.
With me?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So that's mostly what I encountered, which is understandable, but it's based on ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay? Mashiach is not the girl that you want to get ripped for.
Yeah.
Mashiach is the personal trainer who finally, after you've been working out for a decade and you're in good shape.
He's the guy that helps you get ripped.
That six-pack, right?
Exactly.
He helps. He's the one. He comes to bring you the six-pack.
Exactly. Watch this.
Right?
Exactly.
You ain't getting the six-pack without him.
Yep.
Right? So basically, just before we get back to that topic, I'm looking at a NBC New York article or story.
Mm-hmm.
It was from August 13th, 2021. It says, bring back Tappan Zee. Legislation aims to scrap Cuomo name from New York Bridge.
That's funny.
2 lawmakers are leading the charge to do away with the bridge's ties to the Cuomo name.
Yeah.
And the state's 52nd governor, due in large part to the alleged actions by the state's 56th governor.
That's hilarious.
I'm not laughing
Yeah.
that he's a mass murderer.
Yeah.
Right? Who was murdered,
For sure.
literally murdered on purpose.
Yeah.
He probably didn't murder as many people as he wanted to.
Yeah.
What was it? Only 12,000, right?
It wasn't only
Sure,
him. They did the same thing in Michigan. What's her name? Whitmer, the Pennsylvania governor. They all did the same thing in concert. They did the same thing in the same way.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like killing just 12,000 doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make a dent in anything. They must have wanted for it to be much more.
Yeah, of course, for sure. They didn't get a chance. People caught on. They took their parents out of hospital. They refused to send them to hospital. They took their parents out of the nursing homes. Whatever. People caught on.
My brother discovered quercetin.
Yeah.
Even though Cuomo pulled hydroxychloroquine, the schmorocline.
Yeah.
I forgot where.
What a piece of... I remember when a friend of mine called me about that, and he says, these doctors won't prescribe, and the ones that do prescribe, I can't... this is like in Brooklyn, my friend. I can't get a filled prescription. I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What planet? What is this freaking...
I mean,
Spanish Inquisition?
You could get it.
No, but I'm saying, is this
You
the
just have to-
Middle
you have to
Ages?
try 5 different pharmacies sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. What is this? The freaking like medieval Europe? What is this shit? What's going on? My God.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back.
Anyway.
Let's get back on topic.
Before I choke someone.
I want the Tappan Zee to come back.
Oh, it's there. It's still there. You just want the name to come back, right?
That's such a cool name, Tappan Zee.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
It sounds like what's his name?
Japan, the Indians.
No, he's like Turkish.
Turkish.
Before the Germans.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Can we get back on topic before the
Yes.
Germans get
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the topic? Remind me.
You were talking about how people, this phenomenon.
The people and the phenomenon. Oh, about like people not worrying about Mashiach.
Mashiach, yeah.
So, right. So no, I mean, basically that's the idea. They're because of ignorance, they don't know what to expect. Some of them are worried. Some of them think they know what to expect, and they think that they're worried about it, but they actually. It's all ridiculous. Any thought that basically, here's what I've discovered after 20 years, okay, of looking at the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Any thought that anybody has that has any trepidation about Mashiach coming is a foolish thought based on nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We don't need to be prepared for Mashiach. Mashiach comes to help us. He's not the main event.
Yeah.
God is the main event.
Yeah.
Okay? So Mashiach is like if you could picture yourself, let's come up with a dumb metaphor, okay? Like, let's say we're a puzzle, right?
Yeah.
To complete the puzzle, that's the missing piece.
Yeah.
Right? He's not coming to judge you or to scare you.
Yeah.
Okay? He's not coming to point the finger at you and make the whole world laugh at you for all the 50,000 times that you watch porn. Okay? He's not coming to do that. If you just learn a little bit about what Mashiach is coming to do, no one would be worried about it. Okay? Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, God forbid, that Mashiach hasn't come because people don't know.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's still very important for people. Look, it's important for people to understand reality. What is and what isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that idea.
That's all.
Definitely. That's all I got. But we should learn about Mashiach.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just. I'm gonna schmoogle something right now. See what I get, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Was it over 1 million adverts for that?
Okay. I'm schmoogling. I'm Googling, actually.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're gonna start cranking like crazy on TikTok, man, because I'm going viral on TikTok right now.
TikTok.
And it's an amazing, whatever, we spoke about this morning, these guys are collecting China's, whatever it is, but how do you want to be collected? You don't want to, how do you want yourself collected? You want it through indirect or direct? Does it really matter? It's like...
I have no idea. I've never collected in my life. I don't even know what that's like.
It's data collection, yeah.
That's what we were talking about. That was the third thing.
That was the third thing? What about the what?
Yeah, because I was
TikTok.
Like,
yes.
Earlier we were talking about
the Chinese. Yeah.
I was like, because I was surprised that Greg.
Yeah.
For the folks at home.
I was also surprised, but I saw an opportunity. I saw an opportunity to.
No, but let me tell them what I was surprised about.
Yeah.
I was like, Greg told me that he was using TikTok. I'm like, Greg, don't you know that's the communist Chinese? Like you're just like sending them your information, and then you said, they're getting your information one way or the other.
Yes.
I was like, but by using TikTok, you're just like letting it. You're showing up and giving it to them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like I don't remember the colorful metaphor that I used.
I use the metaphor of I use the metaphor of with
It's like showing up
yeah,
and then bending over.
exactly. I use the metaphor of lubrication and whatever. Yeah,
Right.
with or
So
without.
right, you're helping them. Right. So anyway, that's what that was the third thing. I guess it wasn't as comedy gold as we
Yeah,
could have made it more.
yeah,
We could have done something with it. Fine.
yeah. Yeah, no.
Maybe we
So what I've identified is that on TikTok, it's really amazing what you can do in terms of, there's a lot of in a place where there's a lot of stupid crap that goes viral all the time, like girls dancing or people making stupid hand motions and signals and whatever. You can get a very important message out to a lot of people who otherwise would not see it, who are not on these Telegram groups or whatever it is. Like we see all this video footage of like, under 3 minutes. Like TikTok, you could put a video 3 minutes or under, right? So you and we see this video footage all the time in Telegram groups.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what
You know
you're
what I'm
talking
saying?
about.
Like all the stuff that's like basically anti-narrative.
Oh, yes.
Like
Yes.
all the time we see, like, people are just not, if you watch mainstream, you're not going to see this stuff. And so I see that TikTok is an amazing dude. I just posted like 2 videos this week, last 2 days. One of them, they're both from like, the guy, what's his name, Cliff High. One got almost 40,000 views. The other one's 35. Like, and my account blew up. And all these people are like commenting and adding me. It's crazy.
You think you think they're gonna keep his videos on TikTok?
I have no idea, man. But like, I see that there's a lot of schmovid content on TikTok. There's a lot of, anti-narrative content. And it's interesting, like, on my other account, whatever, I told you, they approved my appeal. This is the second time they'll
The
cancel
one
the
from
video.
today?
What? Yeah, there was one from
The
today
one,
that they approved it. Like they reinstated the video. So like I don't know, it's interesting. Like this is the Chinese, man, we're talking about. I don't know if it's Chinese people sitting and checking these videos or who's sitting there and checking them, but they seem to be a little more kind of laissez-faire than Schmacebook and Schmitter, to me at least. And the whole
yeah,
world
they
and the
don't know
whole
you. They haven't gotten to know you yet.
I know, right? And you know what? It's cool. You put a hashtag and it actually tells you. There's like one hashtag, for example, like hashtag sports. There's 35 billion hashtags for that hashtag or pieces of content. It's crazy. These like TikTok I think has the most users. Like
TikTok has the most users.
I
Is that what you
I
said?
think either the most users or the most views. Even if people are not on TikTok, they're constantly getting their friends. Like I have a friend or I have multiple friends who send me TikTok links to watch. So even if
Well,
I'm not on,
isn't that the home of the tots, the tater tots?
yeah,
Tots.
the thoughts, yeah, the those hoes over there. But
Isn't
besides,
it so isn't it so cumbersome to say the part? Isn't tots just so much easier?
you could say tots or
What?
thoughts, but
I'm
you
gonna
have to
say
know,
tots.
but you have to know what you're.
I'm not gonna say the other way. It's just
Yeah, but you
it's
have to know but you should know that it's even if you say tots, it's actually THOTS, which means that hoe over there.
it's so crazy. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it is
That
dumb.
it's so not. I don't get acronyms. Like they're not worth the acronym.
Yeah, they're not. You're right.
One of the funniest acronyms I heard
Yeah,
is from this like old school jive
yeah,
where they used to call each other jamps.
yeah.
Jamp. Jamp. JAMF.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Jive ass MFer.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
He's a jamf.
yeah.
That's funny. Okay, but thought? So
Yeah.
stupid and cumbersome. Like, it's ridiculous.
Do you know what I noticed? Do you know what I noticed? That among the women who are, so to speak, on our side of the opinion of this issue, this particular issue, I find more often than not that at least the ones who are American, like non-Jewish, very smokestacky and very, very happy and smiley.
I'm sorry, those words coming together just didn't register. Please say it again.
The women who are
Yeah.
against taking this garbage into their body
Okay.
tend to be, at least the ones that I've seen who are not Jewish,
Yeah.
are smokestacky and happy and smiley.
Right. Okay. For some reason, I thought you said the Jewish ones. I'm like, no, that doesn't compute.
Some of the Jewish ones as well. Most of the Jewish ones are actually, unfortunately, not. The ones who are pro this garbage are smokestacky, but they're not happy and they're not smiley. And if they are
Dude,
happy,
you're not gonna have a happy, smiley Jewish person. You know why?
why?
We've all been here before.
I've met happy, smiley Jewish girls. Usually they're married.
But that's okay. But I'm just saying that's rare.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, especially married ones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody married who's happy and smiley has not been married long. Okay.
Yeah, they're usually like the ones that are like the the fresh out of seminary. Fresh what? What's it?
Sheva brachas.
Yeah, fresh out of seminary situation with their lovely boyfriend who whatever.
It feels like Christians in general, but like pretty Christian like girls who are happy, smiley.
Yeah.
Those are baby souls.
I know they are, yeah. I told you about this when I went to that event. And this girl just like
No,
actually
we talked about it.
We spoke about this. She and her friends were like circling around like buzzards. And I was like, well, I mean, I did know what to do, but I didn't know what to do.
What?
Like I would know what to do if I had to do something, but I didn't know what to do, meaning I was like, oh man, what should I do? You know what I mean?
No.
Come on, man.
But yes.
Thank you. Thank you for validating me. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anybody who's smiley and happy has not been around long.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have a long history of consciousness.
That's true.
Which is not a bad thing. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even like I'm pretty sure I heard Manus Friedman say this.
Mm-hmm.
He's laughing. He goes, "This whole chronic tired. Has anybody heard about this chronic tired syndrome?"
Chronic tired.
Yeah, years back, the chronic tired syndrome.
What the heck is that?
CTS, where people are chronically tired.
Okay, makes sense.
They're always drained of energy. They're always tired. Yeah. They try different things. They're taking vitamins, shakes.
Is it like chronic fatigue? I mean, that's basically what that is. No?
Chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
Okay, fatigue, Mr. Sophisticated.
No, I was
right? What do you say, garbage instead of garbage?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I roll.
You say target instead of target?
Sometimes, actually, yeah. I do.
Oh yeah, we got it. We actually have to touch upon that whole Whole Foods thing, but later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not Farrakhan things too soon.
Right. Yeah. Dude, you totally Farrakhan your mom's friend, the doctor, on the last time we spoke.
Yes, but I didn't say her name.
Hell out of her, because I re-listened to that.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this Russian Jewish secular doctor lady who likes to do this kind of thing. I was like, holy crap!
Yeah.
I've never heard a person Farrakhan more.
It was pretty
bad.
No, but my whole thing wasn't about even the thing of that. It was just the fact that she was a Republican and she was into that.
Dude, the Republicans are nothing. They don't exist.
I know. You know what I mean? She's a conservative person. Otherwise, whatever. Blah.
Crazy.
Yep.
I was telling. I remember there's a mutual friend of ours. I'm not going to say who. It's not. You can't say it. Not cool.
Yeah.
But he lives overseas now.
Yeah.
In England. In England. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's not very tall. And he's a nice fellow. Okay. Okay, and he married a woman who's not Jewish, and he has children.
Yeah.
He was talking to me years back. This is like right before Trump got elected.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he's pissed off at his father for not being happy that the children aren't Jewish, or not accepting them as Jewish.
Yeah.
Right. So he was talking to me about it, and like I'm probably the only religious friend, or maybe he considers me a former friend now. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
That he had. So we were talking, and I was like, he's like, how do you feel about that? I said, well, the question is, I would ask your father, what is it about them being not Jewish that bothers you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I told him, I was like, there's nothing wrong with somebody being not Jewish. Like there's not a single thing wrong with it.
Sure.
So why is he getting so upset? I mean,
you mentioned this to me. You mentioned this, yeah.
He doesn't know anything about like Torah, right? It's not a conscious concern of his, right? So so basically, when it comes to secular Jews, they still have this kind of like connection to Torah, not not consciously. They have this connection to their identity, and it's a je ne sais quoi, right? Like I said before, they don't know why, okay? But it becomes this weird kind of, seriously, this weird kind of like racist thing, where it becomes instead of
for sure,
Jewish means the nation of God, and it's all about God. It's God. It's God focused.
Yep.
When you're not God focused, then it becomes some kind of weird, like Jewy club.
Yeah.
Some racist, exclusionary type club. That doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
That's what happens. You ever see? Actually, you have seen it. You told me. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, right?
Yes.
You were telling me how you were blown away by it.
I was blown away by the beginning of the movie. Yeah, primarily.
The one thing that I retained from that movie was the girl, right? The main person, the young girl, right? That everybody was the daughter of that like high level politician who was the greatest, or she thought that she was the greatest martial artist, right? So when the main guy, Chow Yun Fat, right? Like he was like, the true master of Wudang, right? So when he was just kind of like playing with her in the trees, right? Like she thought that she was a badass, but compared to him, not really. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was talking to the other actress in the movie, the cute Chinese lady, the older one. She was a little bit older.
Yeah.
And she was saying he called the girl a poison dragon.
Yeah.
Meaning like they were trying to see if they can get her on track, if they can get her with the proper guidance, she can be good. She can be a good person, and she can be an asset to herself and to society. But as she is a poison dragon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she doesn't have the correct guidance. She doesn't understand what things are about.
Yeah.
Okay? So she's just wild and frustrated and upset and without any direction.
Yeah.
Okay? That's Jews. That's secular Jews.
Yeah.
Jews who are not given the chance to study Torah and to understand what it is are poison dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
From Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
That whole metaphor was all about that. So sorry, I took you on that little trip. I hope it was worth it. Probably not.
So far, we've came up with people have cataracts about Mashiach. People are poison dragons. I'm trying to think of other analogies for different things.
By the way, in China, a dragon is a good thing.
Oh yeah, I know.
I know, I know you know, but folks at home.
It's the year of the tiger now. I don't even know what that means. Year of the tiger. Let's see. Year of the tiger. What is it? Okay. What does the year of the tiger represent? Strength, bravery, and wisdom. Ooh, that's cool.
But don't they all represent some kind of noble traits?
Here. People born in the year of the tiger are born leaders who walk and talk assertively and inspire respect. So it's like, in our generation, it would be like people born in like 1986, 74, 98. They're courageous and energetic, love a challenge or competition, and are prepared to take risks. They are hungry for excitement and crave attention. They can also be rebellious, short-tempered, and outspoken. But what about the year? I don't need to know about the people. Here. Oh.
It's very horoscope-y.
Yeah, it is. But no, but you know, it's funny. This stuff kind of does check out also. You know, you realize all these things, like, there's a reason Abraham sent these gifts to the east, you know?
Yeah.
Jesus, symbol of strength, exorcising evils. Interesting. There you go. And braveness. Okay, and that's basically it. That's all you get. Yeah. I mean, there's probably more here. Year of the tiger, meaning. Sign. Here we go. This is like a whole exposition. Come on with your pop-ups. Okay, year animal. Okay. The horse, the goat, the monkey. I'm monkey. 1980. You're what? 81?
Yeah. What year is that?
That's probably either the dog or the something. Hold on, but where? God, there was a whole thing that they were going over. Where did it go? Yeah. Consider Chinese zodiac sign of the tiger is thought to be a sign of new beginnings. Here's everything you need to know about the tiger and the symbolism behind it. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Here. Okay. Red Rab gifts. Animal. The tiger is associated with something like bravery, courage, and strength. Is it third in the Chinese zodiac, considered the king of all beasts. The heavenly stems and earthly branches system from the basis. Okay. This year is a water tiger, the first of its kind since 1962. So what happened in 1962? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What happened in 1962? Water tiger. Wait. Okay. That's just okay. Fine. 62. They have Wikipedia. They have all these things.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah. Okay. The Organization of American States suspends Cuba's membership. Oh, that's when the whole. Here you go. Let's see. What happened in '62? United States embargo against Cuba is announced. Interesting. What else happened in 1962? First Lady Jackie Kennedy takes television viewers on a tour of the White House. Wasn't stuff back then, even back then, not just the 80s, back then, so much grander, you know? So much more like larger than life. You know?
Yeah.
Just interesting how that is.
So there's a Wikipedia page about all this kind of stuff. So
that's what I'm reading. That's exactly what I'm reading.
Pope John the 23rd excommunicates Fidel Castro.
Interesting. In '62?
Yeah. The United States Navy SEALs, Special Forces, are activated. New York City introduces a subway train that operates without a crew on board.
John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth. February 62. What?
Yeah. Cuba and the Soviet Union
Yeah.
sign a trade pact.
Marilyn Monroe serenades President Kennedy. Happy birthday, Mr. AKA basically giving away that she like, you know, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man makes his first appearance in a comic book. Marilyn Monroe is found dead on August 5th after apparently overdosing on sleeping pills. BS. And oral polio vaccine developed by Albert Sabin, given to millions of children to combat polio. 1962. Interesting.
The Soviet government changes all places' names honoring Molotov, Kaganovich,
Yeah.
and Georgy Malenkov.
Very strange.
Yeah.
JFK.
Danny Thomas founded St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The United States embargo against Cuba. Sunday Times. February 4th to 5th, 1962. During a new moon and solar eclipse, an extremely rare grand junction of the classical planets occurs. It includes all 5 of the naked eye planets, plus the sun and moon, all of them within 16 degrees of one another on the ecliptic. That's crazy. A total solar eclipse is visible in Asia, Australia, and the Pacific Ocean, and is the 49th solar eclipse of solar Saros 130. I don't know what that is.
By the way, 1962, Dr. John W. Mauchly, inventor of some of the original room-size electronic computers, poses in Washington, D.C. on November 2nd, 1962 with one the size of a suitcase after addressing a meeting of the American Institute of Industrial Engineers. He now is working on a pocket variety, which he says may eliminate the housewife's weekly shopping list and chore of filling it by hand. He predicted everyone will be walking around with this own personalized computer within a decade. Well, you have to wait a few, not within a decade, but 30 more years.
It probably could have happened.
Yeah, it could have
happened. I believe they hold everything back.
Of course. And this guy, by the way, he had a position at Carnegie Institution of Washington. Section of terrestrial electricity. Interesting. And let's see if there was any work done with the wonderful people at any of these intelligence agencies. Oh, there you go. United States Army Ordnance Department contacted the Moore School to build an electronic computer, which, as proposed by Mauchly and Eckert, would accelerate the recomputation of artillery firing tables. There you go. Mauchly set up consulting organization Dynatren in '67 and worked as a consultant. I think that basically these guys were instrumental in creating the internet, which basically the army had since the '60s.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. ANAC, the first programmable electronic general purpose digital computer, 1945. Project PX, confidential project. There you go. There you go.
The Cuban military tribunal convicts 1,179 Bay of Pigs attackers.
Crazy. The kids are, this guy probably did some stuff with the government, they held it back, and they finally released, the concepts for the tech in terms of once we got the hardware, the design, things that they could actually market and sell in the 90s and 2000s. So there you go. But for sure we had this before. In the 70s we could have had it. Don't you think they release these things according to when they think people are have the consciousness? You know what I mean? It's time released by the powers that be. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're talking about God, then yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, but he's using them.
He uses everybody.
Yeah.
Do I think it's there's a group of human beings that have all this information and are trying to make responsible decisions as to when to release it? No, I don't think that.
So why do you think they're doing it like that?
I think that they try to. there is a group, there is an entity that is within each and every person on Earth, but also it manifests as a group.
Yeah.
Like if you were to take like all humanity as one body, right? Like one big person. Okay.
Yeah.
So there would be a group of people which represent that aspect that all of us have. Okay, and here's this aspect. It's the aspect of I want to be on top.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be in a strategically advantageous position in relation to everyone else around me. Okay, I want to have the best technology, all the latest information, and the inside knowledge, and I don't want you to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all of us have some aspect of that inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously manifest on different levels, but again, humanity itself is likened to one giant person. And so and that giant person has the same thing inside of him that we do as individuals, right? So that's going to manifest as a group, which we call the globalists.
Speaking of which, so it's interesting, because can I read to you something that's related exactly to what you're saying?
Sure.
The World Shmishonomic Shmorum has a page called The New Champions. World Economic Shmorum, new champion companies are dynamic, high-growth companies that are championing new business models, emerging technologies, and sustainable growth strategies in the fourth industrial revolution. What's that noise?
In the fourth industrial revolution. It's not the technology that will change, it's you that will change.
Listen.
Okay, continue.
New champions are mindful of their impact on society and aspire to participate in building a better future.
That's going to happen every time you say fourth industrial revolution. I'm sorry.
Yeah, new champions enjoy access to forum networks and expertise. It's like mafia, which affords both visibility and time-sensitive insight into strategic decision-making on the systemic issues most important to them. They are represented in forum activities by the chief CEO, chairperson, or other board-level executive to share their future-focused perspectives with the global community and connect with high-level and trusted network. Sounds like a cult. It's a cult. If you believe your company would be a great fit for this community, I should apply. You can submit your application online. Our selection committee will review it and contact you to set up an onboarding call and initiate your membership. Would you be nominated, or should you be nominated? Okay. Let's look at the companies. Okay. Let's see if we know any. Agro America. What's this? Agro America.
Greg, let me call you. I'm sorry to interrupt. My cousin is calling. I gotta find out about my uncle.
Sure. So there's all these Indian and Pakistani companies in this new champions thing. Mostly East Asian companies, and it's also there's also Cardano. You know the Cardano Development.
Cardano, the same thing as a crypto.
It's them.
I have some Cardano.
Yeah. So they're part of the World Economic Forum thingamabob.
Dude, that's the most like adult thing that I've ever said.
What?
Like, I bought some crypto. Like I have like my entire portfolio was like $500 right now.
Oh.
Right. Right. So that's exactly what everybody says when they hear how much I have. Like I'm talking to them, I was like, yeah, I have some crypto. So basically I understood that you can't really say you have some crypto when you're speaking to an adult unless you're like invested tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
I can say I have a little bit less than some crypto. Let's put it that in my case. A little bit less than some.
Ugh, you adults with your
Yeah.
crypto.
No, I'm just a former trader who figured trader, not traitor, traitor. Apparently,
Trader with a D.
oh, I think I gotta get off the phone with you, my friend, because my roommate is back with his Democrat.
So we can't do Torah?
We can't do anything until later.
Okay, so what? Yeah, but we gotta do the olive part at least.
We will do the other part, but he's coming home now, so yeah.
Okay.
All right, sir.
All right.
Let's talk
To be-
later on.
to
We
be-
continue. All right.
All right.
Later.